Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and the 2v2 League. Gonna go in with this rematch here between Khaant Handle, my cruise missile, and once again, as I said last video, the slayers of men who steal other men's wives. Good name, I guess. I think, I mean, actually, like, everything is exactly the same, basically, for the setup right here. I think I would like to see the slayers go for a bit more of, like, a typical build, you know what I mean, rather than trying, like, the carrier rush style that they just did. I don't think it was very effective. I don't really see that they like are gonna be able to do that kind of thing, especially with one player playing as Soban. I mean, that's kind of like, it's unlikely to work at best. Empty Soul, meanwhile, salvaging that base runner, by the way. He may be going for a gunship rush here, and if he needs the CUs, well, we'll have to see what he goes. Oh yeah, and there were two on RUs at first, so I think that's probably the idea for him. But yeah, you know, I'd like to see what they would, what they can do when they play kind of a more normal build style. So we'll just have to see. But yeah, I have quite a lot of confidence in Garmlater and Catharsis. Both players who I would really just consider in that top tier of the skill tier system thing, whatever. I don't know where I'm going with that. I mean, we have like a either 2 or 3 time tournament winner right here. I can't remember exactly how many times he's won. I think he's won 2, I've won 2, Descara's won 4, right? I'm only talking about the Kara Cups, of course. We have there's a whole bunch of Artifact Cup winners as well, but I feel like that's been long enough ago that it's a bit more relevant to talk about the Kara Cups myself. Still playing with his magnet, I'm sorry. I'm so distractible. Garmlater going SC first, that's pretty expected. As for Catharsis, still don't really know. It looks like he's going for some early sand skimmers into eco probably. So I imagine he'll be getting refinery mode pretty soon here. Still though, you never know. We'll have to wait and see. I was wrong. It's not going to be fighter and gunship tech. It's going to be AAV. So maybe he's going for an AAV rush. We tend to see one salvager on the RUs for that kind of thing, but we'll have to see. As for Warchild, still no tech from him. Just a bunch of sand skimmers. He'll probably go to refinery mode pretty soon. This blast drone could be huge if he's not paying attention, but it looks like he is. He's gonna catch that one, slap it down. It got a little closer, I think, than it needed to, but yeah, certainly not able to get any kills. So that's nice from Warchild. And his base runner is gonna go down here, but at least he can waste some time, right? That's always worth it. Uh-oh. What's going on here? Why aren't they shooting at it? Actually, it looks like armor was researched by him, so he's not going to lose any sand skimmers to that. Or at least he shouldn't. If you poke in like this, you will. Yeah, going to lose one right there. That's alright, though. Kind of small deal. That matters a lot if you're going to get into a Strikecraft war, but it looks like they're going to fall. He's going to fall back and play on the defense, so. Then again, he can't really just do that, can he? He's going to need some kind of he's going to need something to help him out here, because he can't outproduce those LAVs. We know how that fight goes. Base runner gets taken out, by the way. Okay, it looks like there are actually AAVs from his ally, from Empty Soul. So that's good, and this is a map where you do spawn very close to each other, so it's pretty easy to support each other that way, so that probably won't be an issue. So it's refiner mode from Catharsis and from Warchild, yeah. And what's Empty Soul doing meanwhile? I assume that's a sport cruiser, it's just not showing up over there. Heavy vehicles 2 as well. He'll probably go into railguns and then play rail AAV, if I had to guess. And Catharsis going into assault chips once again. Which again is also no surprise. We know it's Catharsis, he loves his air units. Base runner actually in a bit of trouble right here. LEVs just kind of had to boost away, leave it alone. So base runner probably going to get taken out. Which is always a little sad for Garmlater, you know how he loves his turrets. But and he's going to move his carrier forward again. Well, this time with a second sport cruiser right there, though, and railgun fabrication is finished. I see what's going on. So it's going to be his typical Garmlater timing push, I suppose. Any upgrades on Warchild right now that would influence this? Yeah, armor 1, but that should be okay for Garmlater. Especially as he's on the defense here, he can use his carrier for the extra damage. Like this, for example. This is not where Warchild wants to be, really. The only problem is that AAV. And Catharsis going straight into siege. Is he making assault ships? No, not yet. Hope he knows his ally is kind of in trouble here. Gonna get repelled from Empty Soul over there, who's just now getting onto 2 bases. Sandskimmer is still trying to do some damage here, but staying under the carrier for that long, they're definitely going to get beaten by these LAVs. And on a high ground position, that's exactly what you'd want to see. It looks like Garmulator, as usual, not really going to have too much trouble with this. Yeah, Logistics Module's not a bad target here, actually. The AV does not have smoke, alright. So he's probably not going to get the kill, but it's a good idea. And what's really valuable here, from the singular AAV, it's just one, mind you, has pulled this carrier this far away. And you can see Catharsis, never mind, I thought I was smart there. I thought he was pulling this guy away so that his opponent wouldn't see that he had gone assault ship tech, but never mind, so. AAV will get taken out, so there was minimal damage to a support cruiser, but a lot of time loss is the big deal. This is going to be a problem though, as the LAVs come swarming in here. And this is perfect terrain for them, completely flat. That's exactly where you would want it to be. Garmulator's gonna have a field day over here. Gonna push his opponent off of that second base, I gotta believe. That could be a real problem. Garmulator also going for carrier power reserves. He's got railgun fabrication, hasn't made any of those just yet, but I imagine he will soon. Sandskimmer is actually beginning to fall on Catharsis' second base, which is good. That's definitely what we want to be seeing from the Slayers here, because they need to get some kind of counterplay going. But and I am happy to see they are doing, you know, much more normal things, mind you, so that's good. And they seem to have noticed the air tech on that carrier. Missile ship fabrication is coming out for Warchild. Okay, I was wondering, like, what tech choice did he go for? It's railguns, actually, but we still haven't seen any. And I don't think Garmulator is going to build any... I don't think Garmulator is going to build any railguns until he sees something of his opponents that they can actually deal with. Otherwise, he can just run in there with the carrier. He'll be totally fine, right? It's kind of sad for him he didn't get one of the extractions. That's definitely what he wants to do, this kind of a push, but it should still work out pretty well anyway. And I think in order to hold this off, these two players are going to have to double team, but Empty Soul just now getting railgun fabrication. That's going to be pretty late to the party. I don't know how well this is going to go. Because even if he brings, you know, all the AVs in the world over here, it's not going to stop the carrier from doing some damage. And we could potentially see like a production cruiser snipe or something. Garmulator's style is interesting that way because he basically forgoes the idea of a third base. He's just like, nah, I can take the momentum of moving my carrier out here with power reserves and I can hold you off of your third, so it doesn't even matter. Which is so cool, you know what I mean? Like, it's not common to see that kind of stuff. And then, you know, he uses cruise missiles, which I don't think are cool, but that's not his fault. And he's very, very good at it, too, so... Power 4 finished on this carrier now. And at this point, it's a bit late to even be making these heavy railguns, because if there's only like one or two of them, Garmulator's carrier can practically range them, so it's going to be problematic, to say the least. Production crews are definitely going to go down here, like I predicted. Not the way I thought it was going to go down, though, but... it does happen. Now, these Sandskimmers here are getting quite a nasty run-by, actually. Which is quite logical, I think. They're not going to be able to do anything over here, after all. Empty Soul kind of abandoning this third base location, and I'm not completely sure why. I don't really know what the spawn carrier really adds to this fight here, but... yeah, I mean, he's going to lose a lot for eco, right? Like, in terms of economy. So, oh dear, actually, got a lot of splash damage getting done by those interceptors. And actually the LAVs are going to be pretty much on time to stop them, so not too much damage going to be done by those by that run-by. I actually thought it was quite solid, but it doesn't look like it. It's actually pretty liquid, isn't it? Railgun in position to attack, but it should get killed by this carrier pretty quickly. There it goes. Oh no, not quite. There's only 2 missiles. But yeah, Garmulator once again up on top of Warchild here, and he'll have a fun time. Power Reserve 5, probably not too far away. You can see he's already got the CUs for it. And yeah, it just looks like these two players were not quite ready for this. Wait, no, who's got the CUs for it? It's Catharsis. Yeah, I'm always looking at the wrong person's eco. Yeah, Garmulator, not actually very close to that, but that's alright. And actually these railguns go ahead and run by the carrier, which causes them quite a lot of damage. But I still think things are not looking good at all for Warchild. He's got to go down, I believe. Don't know if there's any way to save him, really. Empty Cell can come in with like ALMs, but that's not really going to do too much to that's not going to do too much to stop the carrier from killing Warchilds, and so there he goes. Interceptor's going to come flying in as well. Take out some of those Soban rails, and I mean that's good because this is like one potential way that Garmulator could be a bit vulnerable now being in this position. If he couldn't, you know, get like an exit, or sorry, if he could get like the exit kill on him as he's trying to escape from here. But with so much air support and as well, I believe there's going to be Khaant of Siege coming up pretty soon. This should be a doozy, right? And look at that pack of LAVs too. Oh wow, Missile Ship actually could have gotten an insane barrage there with the ALM stuns, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Empty Soul knows it's over, he's going to call it. And since his opponent had already died, that means they surrender. Or his opponent, his ally, that is. But it's okay, because look at that sunset. Oh yeah. Yeah, so pretty much the expected result there, but it was a pretty fun match. Glad that it was played, glad to cast it, hope you enjoyed it as well. I'll see you next time.